Hi, sexy.
Hi, give me some.
Okay. Ain't got to tell me twice. But look, look, we here for a special occasion right now. You know, we talking about my wife's book called Nobody's Ever Told Me. This lady is just phenomenal. I don't even know how to say it. She's an author. She's a singer. She's an actress. She's a mom. She's a motivational speaker. She's an evangelist. Most of all, she's my wife, my sexy wife for life. Nah, I mean, but you know, she just wears so many hats, so many crowns, so many things. Wow. What don't you do?
I feel like I'm every woman.
Hey.
It's all in me, so I do it all.
Oh, she know it all. All. Wow. So tell the people a little bit about who's Michelle E. Williams.
So Michelle E. Williams was born in Kingston, New York, to some really nice parents that actually just didn't have their own lives together when they started having children. So I am a mother, I'm an author, I'm an actress, I'm an entrepreneur, a philanthropist. I got it right
that
now.
Word.
That word. I do it all. I'm an advocate. I do foster care. I do everything that needs to be done. That's who I am.
That's who you are? Mm-hmm. Okay, and you see this hoodie that I'm wearing. Y'all see what I'm rocking? That's right, Nava sportswear. This is also her clothing line. That's right. She does the clothes as well. You know, so tell people real quick, what is Nava sportswear?
Okay, so Nava sportswear is a clothing line, and Nava is N-A-V-A, meaning beautiful. Mm-hmm. So this is one of the hoodies that we made. And if you go on navasportswear.com, you'll see everything that we have, from bedding to hoodies to jackets to pants. We have everything for everyone. Go check us out. Wow.
She do the clothing. Yo, tell me this hoodie ain't fire. It's fire. I know you want it.
Yeah, it's fire.
I know it's fire. Especially this color, it's fire. But you know, now what made you get involved with the clothing?
Because I love to see young men and young women go out and look fashionably nice. And, you know, I just see a lot of people going out and making things, and then this idea just came to me. Money makes money, because it takes money to make money. Mm-hmm. Also, money matters, because if you don't have money, you're never going to solve the matter of the bills that you have to pay. Mm-hmm. So that's another reason why I focused on money makes money. I have a whole assortment or array of things to go check out, but basically it's about the money, it's about the style, it's about the fashion. And I have a lot of young boys in my home. We have 6 young boys, and they love to dress, and I want to dress them.
They love to eat.
Yeah.
They love to eat, and they love clothes, but they love to eat.
Yeah.
But look, but you know what? That's amazing. I'm gonna let you hear a little snippet of the song she got. I love this track right here called "He'll Be There." Song is fire. Woo! Let's go. Hey, 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 hey. Say what? Anybody? Everybody.
When I'm like a bullet in the middle of the sea, the light from the lighthouse always guiding me. But in the middle of my mess with the GPS, you bring me out. lighthouse. But always guiding me. But in the middle of my mess with the GPS, you bring me out. And see anywhere, everywhere, I'm aware that you will be right there. Better be right there.
Uh-huh.
Oh, yeah.
That's all y'all gonna get. That's all y'all gonna get. That's all y'all gonna get. Y'all, the song is fire. I know y'all feeling that track. I know y'all feeling that track. But look, oh my God.
And she sings.
And she sings. You know, she told you she do it all.
Yeah.
She's every woman, literally. Know what I mean? Well, she's what every woman's supposed to be. Let me say that. Anyway, but you know, but now we're gonna get down to this book she has. She has a book called Nobody's Ever Told Me. Wow. That's a strong title, y'all. Nobody has ever told me. When you hear the title, you be like, man, what do you say? Like, nobody ever told me what? Nobody ever told me that I'll never be woman enough to be a real woman when I get older. Nobody ever told me about the abuse I'll suffer as a young lady. Nobody ever told me about all the bad men and choices you'll make in life. Nobody ever told me that, wow, like, what do you say about a book titled Nobody's Ever Told Me? Y'all see that book? Fire cover. Woo! What do you say about the book Nobody Ever Told Me?
What I would say for others, for Nobody Ever Told Me, this can be your story.
Uh-huh.
What did nobody ever tell you? What did you not know that was going to happen in your life? So for me, mine started out early. I started out being sexually molested at 4 and 5 years old.
Mm-hmm.
My last punch in the face was by my alcoholic father, who was, by the time I was 14, I had my last punch in the face by my alcoholic father. By the time I was 15, I watched a murder. By the time I was 16, I ended up dating this guy, had started having my kids at the end of 18, and found out that he was secretly smoking crack cocaine. Wow. By the time I was 20, I had a nervous breakdown, and it just was not good. I felt like I lost my mind. Things was not right. Mm-hmm. And by the time I was 21, I was being raped on the living room floor by someone who was secretly living in my attic for 2 months that I didn't even know. So that threw me into a whole life of fear and horror. I couldn't sleep in my house. I always had to check under beds, always moving the shower curtain back, never could leave a door cracked. And even to this day, I still have a slight fear of that thing, but it doesn't control me the way that it did when I was 21. I mean, it did change my life totally.
Wow. Now, what's one of the things that help you get through that process? Because I know it's a lot of women now that's still going through mental abuse, physical abuse, and most women don't realize that the mental abuse lasts longer than the physical abuse, because a man could beat you, they can say things to you, and they can do so much for so long. Once you get rid of that person, mentally, it's still there. Mentally, it still affects you, not just where you are previously, but in your future, and then your next relationship, or your relationships you have in the future. When you decide to get older, you get married, you want to settle down, you still have some of those things from the past that kind of interfere with your present relationship. So how did that help you kind of cope with that? That's all on your mic.
Well, first of all, you have to have a relationship with God.
Right.
If you don't have a relationship with God, then it's going to make it even harder. But secondly, you have to have a relationship with a man who has a relationship with God. Because if the man that's coming for me is in him, then that means that him and God have a good relationship, and he understands God, and God will give him the knowledge and the know-how how to understand me. And that's how we can become an awesome we, because he is in the center of our we.
Moshe. That's my boy Knowledge, Moshe. But wow. Well, I love that though. But for some women who is at that point in life where, you know what, they're like, yo, I understand the whole God situation. I understand the whole, you got to seek God first and blah, blah, blah. They know the whole cliches of gospel. But during that time and during that moment, they can't really hear that. They can't really understand that. What do you say to those women that those women who's at that place where they know of God, they heard of God, but they not trying to, not that they're not trying to hear God, but they don't understand that part of God right now. Like, why would God tell me he would never leave me or forsake me, but he's still allowing this to happen to me?
Right.
Like, what would you say to those women?
There's a couple things I'd say. So first of all, if it never happened to me, I couldn't be here sitting here talking to you to let you know that you can make it through.
Mm-hmm.
Secondly, you have to understand that you have to allow yourself time for the process. Everything is a process. So when you begin to ride a bike, the first time you put your foot on the pedal, your foot is going to fall off. You're going to fall off. You're not going to be balanced. So you have to allow yourself time to go through the process of the hurt, and you have to heal. Because if you don't heal, you'll take it into a whole nother relationship. But it does take time. I'm not going to say that the rape did not take time. I'm not going to say that all the pain didn't take time. I'm not going to say that the fear just went away. Nothing just happens. Nothing just goes away. So you have to mentally prepare yourself. So how I prepared myself was every day I would seek God. Even if I didn't feel God, in my heart I knew he was there. And I just had to keep going like on that bike. And eventually you're going to catch on and something is going to heal. And before you know it, you're going to be riding a bike and then you're going to be feeling the breeze of the wind that's going to hit you like, wow, I am living again. Life is happening again. But it literally takes time. Everything is time and healing.
Wow. Y'all hear that, women? Everything takes time, so it's not going to happen overnight. It's not going to be something that happens really quick. So many, and it's, you know what's funny? It's not just women that goes through this mental abuse. It's a lot of men that suffer from abuse as well. And because of the pride of men, they don't like to, address that situation of being mentally scarred by women growing up, being in bad relationships, especially from the BMs, the baby moms. That's a whole nother show. But it's a lot of men who suffers from that as well. Being told they're never amount to nothing, being told they're never good enough for nothing, being told that they're this, they're that, and then children grow up that looks just like that man. They end up being abused because of the hurt that woman felt for that man, and she takes out her anger on that child.
Right.
But it's a lot of things that women and men, I think, suffers from that. So I think that's a powerful topic from the book Nobody Ever Told Me. What are some of the key points in the book you want people to really know about when they read this book?
That first of all, I want to take it back to the spiritual aspect. I feel like nobody ever told me, for me, means that I was born a threat to the enemy. From the time that I was born, from the time that I can remember, I was being abused. The cycle just kept going and kept going and kept going until one day I got up and I told myself I was going to break the cycle. And around 30, that's where I got up enough strength to take out some me time and learn about me and stop allowing people to dictate my life, make decisions for my life. I was dating people, dating men, buying them gifts, doing all kinds of things just for the approval of the validation of their love for me. Obviously, I didn't love myself enough to do the things I needed to do. So what I was doing is I was looking for the love through them. They weren't even capable enough of loving me. So what I had to do was take out some me time, learn about me. Who was Michelle Elizabeth Williams? Who was this woman? And when I took out that time, wow, I found out there was somebody inside there that I could literally love. And then all the gifts that I was giving to people, buying people living room sets, giving people cars, giving them furniture, doing all these things, I started giving them back to myself. And then when I started loving myself, I was like, wow, I truly love me.
Wow.
And when I took out the me time, I heard God speak to me. He said, I want you to find love, joy, peace, and happiness in me, because I wanted to be married. He said, and when a good man does enter into your life, he'll be an asset to our love.
Wow.
So when you came in, you were the asset and not the upset.
Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot. I'm sorry, but nah, that's deep though. That's real, because the fact that you was able to find yourself first because that's one of the key things too of healing. You have to know who you are first before you can go from one relationship to the next one without giving yourself that proper healing time. Mm-hmm. And I think that's where a lot of relationships go wrong. A lot of marriages don't work because people want to take that baggage from 10 years ago and they still carrying that same baggage because they never given themselves time to properly heal. And I think that's something that's really, really, really valuable that you said. Now, man, unfortunately, all good things come to an end, but
they don't have to.
Tell the people, where can they get this book from, and how can, they connect with Miss Michelle Williams?
So if you want to get Nobody Ever Told Me, you can go on Amazon.com. You have to look up Michelle Elizabeth Williams. Mm-hmm. If you can't locate it there, then you can go on to Barnes & Nobles. If you go on Google, I am on so many different engines. There's probably about 100 different engines that you could find Nobody Ever Told Me. My music is also on CD Baby.
iTunes.
All
digital outlets.
Yeah, all digital outlets. And you can find me on there. I Know Who I Am is the title of the soundtrack, which we're going to be going back into the studio, adding some more songs to that. Mm-hmm. But you can find me on Facebook, Instagram, Michelle E. Williams 98. You can find Nobody Ever Told Me under Nobody Ever Told Me, the book.
The book. Not the CD, the book. Mm. But wow, this has been amazing. Man, I hope you guys enjoyed what you heard so far. Hopefully it encouraged some of the young women out there, the young men out there to stay faithful, to stay committed to God. And in spite of all, I know it's hard and I know it's cliche, but God will never leave you. He will never forsake you. And I'm speaking from experience. And one of the reasons is the beautiful necklace that my wife is wearing right here on her neck. We just lost our son. So, to have, part of him with us, with his birthstone and everything, that speaks a lot of volume and a lot of heart and a lot of passion. So I just want to encourage you as a powerful woman of God to keep God first, keep doing what you're doing. And there's going to be so many young women that's going to be affected and touched by this ministry of her book, by the ministry of your music, by the ministry of you just as a powerful woman of God.
And I just want to thank you for being an awesome husband. Because when a woman as myself has gone through so many things as I have gone through, it takes a strong man to be able to deal with someone like me. And even though I did the work before I got to you, there was still a lot of residue that was left over that you still have to go through being married to me. Mm-hmm. But you're strong enough.
Know what I mean?
Yeah, you're strong enough.
That's what I do. You better ask them. But
no. see, you're built for this.
No, man. It's crazy. But thank you again, seriously, for coming out. Please go follow my wife, Michelle E. Williams, at Michelle E. Williams 98 on Instagram. Follow her on Twitter. Follow her on Facebook. Connect with her if you would love to book her. Yes. Please, for any women's conferences, women engagements, speaking engagements. I mean, because we didn't even touch really a lot of stuff that we want to really touch on because we have to record this for a certain thing. But God has been opening up doors for you in so many ways and so many different avenues with women connected, women conferences with over 20,000 women and all these different doors He's been opening up for you. Like, wow. How did that feel? Give everybody a quick 30 seconds on how did that feel with all the doors that God is opening for you.
So how it really feels is awesome. But what I would like to say is I once had a dream that I saw myself in this dark warehouse. And in the warehouse, there was this guy up on top. And I was trying to get to him, but I was so afraid. I was so scared to get up there because I wanted to get out. But he had everything locked up. There was chains on the doors. There was wood, everything just boarded up. And when I finally did get to him, he said, I told you not to move. And it was like he clammed my mouth, he clammed everything, and I was all clammed up. And he took an iron, and he came down with the iron to get ready to burn me. And when he got ready to burn me, the first thing I hollered was, the blood of Jesus. But I was shaking like so bad, like, does this really work? Oh my God, does this work? And when I hollered the blood of Jesus, he like fell off of his feet a little bit. And I was like, oh my God, it worked. Then he came towards me again, and he came down to literally burn me this time. He got so close, and I said, the blood of Jesus. And all of a sudden, he fell backwards. When he fell backwards this time, I looked around and I saw girls. They were up on that in the warehouse, up on this thing, looking around, just looking like, oh my God, there's another voice in here. I looked at him and I said, the blood of Jesus. And when I screamed the blood of Jesus, all the wood, everything bust off those windows. The door opened up, and I saw a whole warehouse full of girls just running. They were set free. They were just running, running. Ask me how I feel. I feel like I'm ready to just blow this trumpet and let the people free.
Wow.
Ugh.
Look, woman, y'all hear that, right?
Yes.
Y'all hear that? But this part of the story she didn't tell y'all was when a guy fell back, Jay Will stepped in and beat him down. But anyway, but yo, we gotta let y'all go. This has been your boy Jay Williams. This is the Jay Williams
And
Show.
we'll be back.
We'll be back again. Nah, I mean, let's get it.